Hi, my name is Francine Van Meter, and my presentation for Library 200 is on the technology-related issues for the 21st century librarian. It's about diversifying space, expanding access beyond the physical library to a technology-rich environment. The transformation of library services from a physical environment to a virtual one is a hot topic among library professionals. The foundation of library services has traditionally been built on how things are ordered within highly structured systems and based on a rational concept that everything has its place within the order. Then along comes the web. Disorder, chaos, unrestricted access to things, and free association as a search technique. Published and unpublished documents are easy to access without the help of an expert. Questions arise like, what's useful? What's valuable? What's credible? Peter Morville, information architect, uses the terms intertwingling and findability to describe the nature of information-seeking behaviors. His work in creating order out of chaos has helped library and information science professionals better understand the nature of the 21st century learner. Order, structure, rationality, disorderly, unrestricted, free associated. David Weinberger states, "The old way creates a tree. The new way rakes leaves together." As libraries struggle to justify their services in a weak economy, how do we talk with one voice to validate the tree and the leaves? In the book Digital Convergence, Libraries of the Future, the authors suggest we build buildings that are about the process of learning, one that does not focus primarily on library operations. Libraries are a place for all services for students, making it the center of education and the community. By the way, the book I referenced is a Google book. Learning is a social process, and information literacy is the default literacy of the 21st century learner. So what are the challenges that libraries face? Digital information changes. URLs change. The content itself can change, as in a wiki. Patrons want the information now, often at the expense of performing a well-crafted search strategy. Computer access is still an issue, especially to economically disadvantaged populations. Vendors needing access through IT firewalls and patron privacy rights are examples of digital security. And ultimately, the very nature of the librarian-patron relationship changes. How are libraries transitioning? Wi-Fi is available throughout library spaces. Additional power sockets allow students to connect their own laptops and devices. Spaces are created for group work and meetings, and video projectors are accessible to give presentations. And reference services are in the middle of the action. Catalogs, acquisitions, databases, and circulating materials can be accessed remotely. Radio frequency identification tags, or chips, improve the security control of a collection. Digital reference services increases access to people who may be on the road traveling, homebound, or who simply cannot get to a physical library. Patrons can access catalogs and electronic reference sources, or simply use a late-night extension of traditional reference services. What questions do librarians need to ask? What will the physical space, the virtual space, or both look like in the future? What's the criteria for selecting digital assets? What decisions do we need to make regarding password protection authentication for vulnerable clients like children? What's the criteria to retire holdings, stuff that's no longer retrieved? What's the financial impact? The return on investment? Does what we offer indeed have a benefit to the user? Is it worth the cost? How will open access movements affect the economics of digitalization? Does it uphold the values of the library profession? Does it play to our strengths? If I'm an academic librarian, does it support the college's mission? Is the digital asset likely to endure, or will that URL vaporize in 10 weeks? Who will assume long-term ownership of digital books and journals? Efforts for mass digitalization are overwhelming. What do these efforts look like? Did you know the Library of Congress has a YouTube channel now? The Google Books project started in 2004 with a partnership between Google and 5 major research libraries. It was intended to create a comprehensive searchable virtual catalog of all books in all languages while still respecting copyright. Their plans were so big, it got the attention of some authors and publishers. Wade Henderson, President and CEO of the Leadership Conference on Civil Rights, states, "There's one last frontier we have to conquer on the road to equal opportunity in America. It's access to knowledge." Last November, a legal settlement was made between Google and the Authors Guild and the Association of American Publishers. It opened the door to new opportunities for libraries and universities to offer their patrons and students access to millions of books beyond their own collections. For more information on the Google Books project, go to books.google.com. E-books, Kindles, and iPads, oh my! What are the issues regarding digital preservation? A Kindle is not a leather-bound vessel for paper. Is electronic information vulnerable to damage? As technologies become outdated, does it mean porting over documents to new devices? There's been a lot of discussion about the long-term reliability of computer storage systems, but frankly, I think network systems using industry-standard recovery techniques are not only reliable, but built-in redundancies virtually eliminate the risk of loss. Library patrons, students, the community, they're still the same people, just different knowledge. Yes, it will mean organizational structures will change to meet the needs of the 21st century learner. But isn't it an exciting time for us to be part of adapting once again to a new information age, one of increased access?